All right, Nathan, here it is. I would wager this is the most anticipated car of the year, the Scion FRS, because it heralds the return of the front-engine, rear-wheel drive, affordable sports car. Do you agree?
Absolutely. This is a vehicle that if you like going around corners, if you actually enjoy having a ride that you can feel, this is the car. It's the right car.
And it's fun. Come as we rock this car in the Red Rocks. Told you, we weren't kidding. This car draws a lot of attention, even from the people from the home country.
From the middle of a desert. Fun? Hell yeah! This is a great performing car, but the magic is actually here under the hood. Very interesting setup. You get 200 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque out of a boxer engine. You're used to seeing these in Subarus, but this is an all-new engine jointly designed with Toyota. Here's the interesting part. Because it's a boxer design, going side to side with the pistons as opposed to up and down like your conventional engine, it can sit really, really low in the chassis, and it creates excellent, excellent weight distribution. So in terms of cornering and handling, cojones! It's got serious cojones.
When you get next to it, you realize that this is a very small car. In fact, it's an inch shorter than the Z. One of the things that makes it so much fun to drive that it's light, just under 2,800 pounds, and the ass is a little bit lighter. 53% of the weight up front, 47% in the back. That means you can hang this thing out and slide it around with a boat. The downside, it looks a little bit like the BRZ, but the upside to that is both cars are handsome, in my opinion. Yes, it has a back seat, and
we don't frickin' fit.
This is probably more for occasional utility and insurance purposes.
You could put kids back here.
Certainly not for human use.
Not at all.
Not for these humans, at least.
Woo! In the desert, no less. Try as I might, I wasn't able to get into the back, into the trunk, without lowering the rear seats. Fortunately, they do go down. Not a lot of space, but with the rear seats down, you could probably fit in one golf bag and one fat guy. Whew.
Badge right here, the 86 badge, which shows the horizontally opposed pistons, really comes from the boxer engine. But the 86, the core of this logo is an 8 and a 6, and that really comes from the car. There's over my shoulder over here, and that's the AE86 or the Corolla GT, which most fans know by as the name is the Hachiroku. Really, the core of that car, this perfect balanced car, that heritage is what really drove kind of the guts and the core and really the spirit of this car.
Are you ready to see how fast this will go to 60?
Yeah, with two guys in it, big guys.
Two big guys. Okay, hold on. It's going to tell you when. Go. Little bog. Come on. Oh yeah, nice second shift. Here comes third, and here comes 60. All right, there we go. Let's see what the official results are, my friend. What do you think?
Oh, 8.2.
7.8 seconds.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I know a car can be faster, but remember, we're two big guys in here, and this is a real world test. Not bad.
I know that most of you will never take this car on the track, but if you do, you gotta drift it because I get it. I've always looked at drifting as kind of the synchronized swimming of the race car world, but when you're behind the wheel instead of in the grandstand, it is just a hoot.
The FRS kicks ass.
It says to you, come on, give me more, show me what you can do because I'm gonna make you the fastest guy in this track. And that's how I feel. I feel like a superstar in this car. And you know what? Is that worth $25,000? You bet it's worth $25,000 and probably a lot more. There are some things wrong with this car.
Absolutely.
My biggest complaint initially is that it doesn't look anything like the show car. I was in New York when they rolled that out and I was blown away. And while this is good, it could be great.
That's absolutely true. Here's another problem. The BRZ from Subaru, they look exactly the same or nearly identical. I mean, they really need to look different and they don't.
In my mind, the elephant in the room is that the Abarth is charming, the Mustang is powerful, and the GTI is precise. These are cars that potentially compete with the FRS. This car, it's a little bit sterile. You know, it does everything well, but there's a lack of engagement, a lack of charm that I wish I could discover in this new Scion. Hey Nathan, here's an interesting fact. Did you know that the stick shift we're driving actually gets worse gas mileage than the automatic?
That's interesting. This one, manual, gets 25 miles per gallon combined. It's not too bad.
Whereas the automatic gets 25 city and 34 on the highway, which is actually very good for a car that has 200 horsepower. All right, Nathan, we've taken it on the road, on the highway, and of course on the track. So after all that, what do you think of this Toyobaru?
Toyobaru.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, Toyobaru.
It's a fantastic car. It was great on the track. It did really well on the back roads, and then even in the city, it was fantastic.
And it's balanced, as much as I hate to say that.
I hate to hear it.
And you know what? It's one of those rare instances where this ugly term called chassis sharing actually makes the car better. I'm glad that Toyota and Subaru got together.
They made a wise decision because it's a great car to drive.
So until we test the BRZ, this is Roman and Nathan.
See you next time.
And we're going to take this Toyobaru to
Vegas!
Vegas. See you guys. Bye. You know, there are really only 4 components that make a good race car: brakes, steering, power, and weight. And this car has all 4 of those. And to my mind, that's what makes it such a perfectly balanced car. But, and this is a big but, I still want more power, because I know that my big toe can control the amount of power, and when I'm on a racetrack, there is no substitute for power, and 200 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque, while it may be perfectly balanced, it's not perfectly adequate, at least not for me.
The FRS is intense because I'm deliberately driving poorly, and it doesn't care. It's basically saying, hey dude, I'm gonna make you a better driver. And that's exactly what it's doing. No matter how I push the tail out, how hard I hit the brakes, how absolutely incorrect I go around any corner, it doesn't matter. It's gonna let me do it, and it's gonna say, hey, you know what? I'll push your butt out a little bit, but then I'm gonna help you get it all back. That's impressive.